If you guys watched my Leaf video a few days ago, you would know that I said that I was not going to be in the same location today. As you can see, we are clearly not in the same spot. We'll be back there tomorrow, no problem at all. But now for the thing at hand. The Blue Jays lose 3-1 to the Tampa Bay Rays in the 11 innings and are now 1-4 on the season. They're having a really, really rough start to their year. Again, another really good start, but a tough. You couldn't get enough scoring. I mean, that's really what it was. Aaron Sanchez pitches a great game. Goes 7 innings, giving up 4 hits, 1 run. He walks 3, but he strikes out 6. He was great. Biagini gave up 1 run in his 2 innings of work. Grilli did a good job in his 1 inning. And Casey Lawrence, just called up from AAA Buffalo, lets the Rays pretty much walk off. And that sucks. It really, really does. But with Chris Archer on the mound, you're not going to get a lot of runs. Jays only get 2, both on him. But they strike out 12 times. It's a lot of times. And again, like we've been saying, the top of the lineup has been a really big issue when it comes to Ks. Travis struck out once, Donaldson twice, Bautista 4 times he struck out in this one, and Morales struck out twice, and Steve Pearce struck out twice himself. A really rough game with the bats for the Jays. Donaldson goes 1 for 4 with an RBI. But really not much else happened for the Jays offensively. They were really nowhere to be found. They only had 5 hits in this game, and it was just a game that you want to forget. Now the Jays are now, like we said, 1-4, and are now looking for a split in this 2-game series. And, I mean, I understand we never play well down in Tampa, but it's a rough start to the season for the Toronto Blue Jays, and I'm just hoping they can find their way soon, because we know the starting pitching is going to be good. It obviously wasn't yesterday, but it was really good today, and they couldn't find a way to get 3 runs for the club. I mean, it sucks to watch this team and know that their offense can do it, but they just aren't. And as bad as it sounds, as stupid as it sounds, it's been happening a lot lately. Right? Over the first 5 games, we've been seeing the starting pitching, except for Lariano, pitch a really solid game and deep, and the offense just can't muster up anything for them, and they can't get those clutch hits. I mean, Donaldson did have a clutch 2-out hit, which is nice, and Tulowitzki obviously got a run in the 7th, single scoring Donaldson. But the Jays didn't really get anything else going. Right? And they didn't really start any rallies. I don't know if they're just trying to swing for the home run. I don't know if they're trying to be too selective with walks, and that's why they're striking out as much as they are. Or if Chris Archer just really, really nasty and strikes out a lot of people. I mean, he does, but 12 guys is a lot of strikeouts. I'm not sure. It probably wasn't all Chris Archer, but still. 12 strikeouts is a really, really large amount. That's over a strikeout an inning, and that's never a good stat to have. Now, I'm not saying they're in desperate mode because it's only 5 games in, but the Jays need to start getting something sorted out. And now we're second time through the rotation, really. Marco Estrada is getting the start tomorrow. It's a 1:10 first pitch in Tampa Bay. Again, like I said, the Blue Jays looking to even up the series at 2 and split the 4-game series against the Rays. Jake Odorizzi going to the mound for the Tampa Bay Rays. He got roughed up in his first start. He's 0-1 with a 6 ERA, where Marco Estrada has a 3 earned run average. So, again, it's so early to tell with this club if they're going to do anything special. I mean, you don't know. That's why we're watching and trying to analyze what we have right now. And what we see right now is a starting pitching staff that's pretty darn good still. A bullpen that I think could sure use Roberto Osuna still. And, hopefully he continues to go and stays on track for his return, because that'll be very big to get him back. Because then you throw Grilli in the 8th spot, and then you have an 8-9 setup that you're okay with. Because right now you have Grilli in the 9, and you're like, do I throw Biagini in there? Do I throw somebody else? JP Howell, Joe Smith? I mean, who do you throw in there, right? But when Osuna comes back, you know who's going where. And this club needs to start getting some clutch hitting. I mean, we saw it yesterday, But again, the team gave up 8-10 runs, and therefore you lose at 10-8, right? But today was a game where they just couldn't really muster up anything. Like I said, they only had the 5 hits in this game. And it was a game where the Jays just couldn't find any offense. I mean, like their last 2 games where they hit the grand slam by Kendrys Morales, but even then they only had what? They didn't have many hits that day anyways. They only had 5 that day as well. So really, yesterday's game was the one game where they had a good amount of hits plus a good amount of runs. Other than that, in the first 5 games, we really haven't seen anything special from this club. But again, it's 5 games in. We're now going through the second round of the rotation. Let's see how things start to go for the team. Let's see if they start figuring things out. If batters, if the guys start getting in a rhythm and things like that. That's what we want to see. It's going to take some time to really process who's doing well, who's doing well, who's not doing well. Who do you think should be moved at the deadline? We're obviously not there yet. But when it comes to this team and the way they're playing right now, it's still so long to tell, or so far, from saying who's good and who's not. But we do want to see some more wins in the win column, right? I mean, obviously Boston lost yesterday, and Baltimore's 4-0. They haven't lost, which is ridiculous. But we can't focus on that, right? Because every other team's Tampa Bay's 4-2, Boston's 2-2, the Yankees are 1-4. So again, the Jays just need to start relaxing and playing their type of game, and that's what I hope we see tomorrow. It's an afternoon game. It's the first afternoon game we've seen this year, except for the opener. But I think that's what the Jays need, is a home opener. They need to get home and see the loud fans. That's what we need to see. Because that'll get the crowd fired up. It'll get the players fired up. We can see some good baseball. Maybe that'll kind of turn the tides for things and say, you know what, these fans deserve something special. Let's do something special for these people. I don't know. I have no idea. We should take it game by game, and let's go for the split series tomorrow. That's really all we can hope for, all right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit that subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below what you guys thought of this game. What's going on with the very early struggles for the Jays? What can you guys pinpoint so far? And we'll talk to you guys, tomorrow, Raptors edition, as their noon tip-off against the New York Knicks in New York. Leafs edition tomorrow night. Leafs, Blue Jackets. Leafs need 1 point to face the Ottawa Senators and not the Washington Capitals, so that would be much preferred. And also, like we've been saying, Blue Jays edition tomorrow afternoon. Jays, Rays. We'll see you guys then.